Hi! Thanks for following on our ragtag journey. We are trying to learn more about being resilient and how to share that with others. And so we're down here at Hart Farm and with the director. And if you could tell us what you do and what you guys are doing, and then
Sure.
we're going to get a tour.
So my name is Phil Murphy, and I'm the executive director here at Hart. Been here since 2010, but I've been involved with the program since it began back in the early 80s. And it began with the idea that a lot of people going overseas to work either with Christian organizations as missionaries or with governmental organizations aren't prepared to deal with some of those living conditions, and also don't have the skills to actually help people with some of their real problems, like their farming issues or their animal issues or some of their health issues. So those are some of the things that we focus on here, and we have a college level program that we do in the fall and in the spring. So what we do is we provide a simulated developing world village on 40 acres of land here in Central Florida, and we have a functioning farm, just like most places would in many communities around the world. And we have a functioning kitchen here, so we not only grow the food, but we process the food. So we give away some in the community, we sell some in the community to local farmers markets and things. But when our students come here, they're living as they would. We hope that they live here worse than they would in most places around the world, so that when they go overseas, they can handle it a little bit better and get more involved in ministering and helping the people that they're going there to serve. And so that's what we do here. We have a 3-week program and 2 15-week programs. So we're thinking about doing a second 3-week program this coming year in January. So if anybody wants to join us, that would be great. The program can be either for college credit, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, because it's the same program for people who take it for credit and don't take it for credit. The only difference is the price, and you get the credit. So we're going to take you guys on a little bit of tour and show you around, and JC is going to join us. He is our farm manager. I see him coming right now.
So JC, farm manager of Hart Farm, is going to give us a tour.
So those are Muscovies, and they hatched like a week ago, maybe less.
We have 2 ducks. We love them.
And sometimes animals are donated to us, like that big dark green one was donated to us.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And we take care of them, and sometimes this is a place where they retire.
Yes. Well said.
Yeah, there's a lot of Muscovies in here. I started with 5, and now they're all over. We have some khaki camels as well. So we hatch as well, some of them, and we sell to the community some of the chicks.
Cool.
Yeah, besides the eggs that we also produce. And they just do their own thing. They're great. They're very independent.
Too, huh?
Yeah, they don't make a whole lot of noise. That's what some people like. That's why some people like them.
Yeah.
Because they're not as noisy as other ducks or chickens, you know.
That's what I've heard from permaculture people that are in small places.
Yeah, and some people prefer them as well because they don't scratch as much like a chicken. But you also get eggs.
Yeah.
And also
and really
meat. So
eggs through the whole year.
Yep.
I didn't realize that like our ducks would be less fickle than our chickens.
Can we get a Muscovian
for
duck?
the tropics,
Maybe,
I
someday.
do recommend ducks, I think, because chickens tend to be a little more finicky when it comes to tropical weather. They still make it, but you know, ducks really thrive in the tropics, and they love water, and they're pretty self-sufficient, I think.
Cool.
Yep.
Someday they'll be on our wish list for our Sunday farm. They'll be ducks. Come on, guys.
Goats are what you call a browser rather than a grazer, like a sheep or a cow.
Wants to go in here?
Yeah, you just yeah. There is a little one. They're
Hi.
pretty friendly. You guys can come in.
Come here. Zion, come on in. Okay, come on in. Or stay out, but he probably wants to shut it.
Yeah, I need to go.
Come on in. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Yeah.
She's the friendliest one.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you don't name them.
Some of them we do. I have to tell them apart sometimes, and I do name them. This is Kylo. That's Hope. And I haven't named those 2 yet. sometimes I just wake up one day and I'm feeding them and I just, you look like something. And I'm like, okay, that's your name now.
It's easier to keep track of them.
Yeah, those are twins, and she is from 3 kids that were born from 1 goat.
Oh, wow.
So she was the runt,
Uh-huh.
and so she had a little bit of issues, and one of our staff helped her out by grafting her into another goat and feeding her multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's doing well now.
What breed are they?
They are a mix of Nubian. Throughout the years, we had different goats, and we just mix them in. And our buck is a pure breed Nubian, but our females are a mix between Nubian and Nigerian dwarf and La Mancha. And some people look at them, they're like, they're Kikos, and I'm like, sure. I mean, they look like one, but.
So your goal is genetic diversity, not specifically
Right.
one breed
No,
or anything, and then
we've noticed in the
Okay,
past
get what you
that pure breed doesn't perform as well, and I don't know, it has to do with genetics of like how much inbreeding it had to do or deal with.
before.
So yeah, so now you end up with this goat, which is a little more sensitive to other things, or perhaps some neurological issues, and so when we diversify and bring new genes, they replenish the whole gene pool, and yeah.
I'm sure that prepares students really well too, to be able to kind of deal with anything. This is what you get. This is how you work with it.
And we do castration on pigs and goats. We process every single animal. I try to teach them how to process.
Doing meat processing.
Mm-hmm.
Then no. He was going to eat my son.
I bet.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Here, guys, why don't we come over here?
Let me open the gate.
We're going to follow them out. And
There's
play.
a cat.
Oh, yay.
That's Jabba. Jabba the Hutt. She's just a little slow. In here, this is the entrance of the garden.
Come on, guys.
And right away, like I said, diversity is a key. And we have anywhere from palm trees to cactus that do well in this area.
Are those palm nuts? For
Those?
What are
well,
those?
actually, they're
don't
jelly
know.
palms. You can try them.
Sorry, there's a lot of fruit. I don't know what it is.
You
So just
try,
grab one?
Try
Grab
to grab the one that's orange and doesn't have a mold.
Oh, I don't know if there's a lot. Let's see.
Yeah, that one looks good.
Okay.
Or part of it.
It's okay. I can handle it. Let's see. So jelly palm.
Jelly palm.
It's really sweet. You know what? It's kind of sour too.
Yeah.
At the
it does
end, it's
have,
like
a
a
little
little-
bit of sourness to it. Now, like you know, permaculture focuses on diversity on also different levels of trees. So we try to maximize space and everything because although we have 40 acres to go around, we really focus and farm in about 2 acres.
Okay.
So this is a good example of you can have, like pineapples
Wow.
at the very lower
Yeah,
end
nice.
right
There's
here.
pineapple right there.
So pineapples don't come from trees, right? Come from plants like this. And then the next level you got
The
papayas.
blooming and it has fruit.
Yeah, we might be able to find some fruit if we're lucky. And then
Those
that one's
Those are big ones there.
Yep. That one's almost there.
So do
We-
you wait for them to turn? I've never seen
There,
it.
when it's 2/3 orange or yellow, they're good to harvest. But we also eat the green papaya.
Yeah, just harvesting them green
Yeah,
tea.
you can make pad thai. We make pad thai with it. And instead of noodles, we use the green papaya, and it's one of my favorite. Also, when they're half ripe, they have like a texture of like a green, just like a carrot.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's cool.
so they're kind of crunchy. They're not super sweet. They're great, and we grow so much papaya. At some point, we will get 40 to 50 pounds of papaya a week.
Whoa, that's a lot.
So every day we'll be harvesting some. Right now they're not doing so well because the cold damage that happened in the winter. but they're coming back up. And then the next level, you got avocados.
Yeah, that's a huge avocado tree.
This avocado trees will are a little bit cold hardier, and that's why we grow them here.
Wow. So this is kind of like a food forest layered system.
Yep.
That you've got.
Following those principles of permaculture.
Yeah. What's that?
Natal palm, they call it. You can try it. I don't think I've ever had it or had a good one.
Let's see. Zion, you want to try? It's good. It's very it's soft. It looks hard.
Yeah.
When you hand it to me, I'm like, oh, this is going to be hard.
This is semi-tropical, and right now it's very tropical kind of, but in the winter it's dry and cold. So a lot of
that.
a lot of places. It's like if you go on the outskirts here, it just looks like a desert. There's just sugar sand, and there is cactus growing and other things. But in here, we incorporated this. It's not ready yet. It turns fuchsia when it's ready. It's Peruvian apple cactus.
That's cool.
Yeah. And
now, I wouldn't expect to see, because you always think desert,
yeah.
Or whatever, and that's neat.
Yeah, but no,
So you're kind of pushing the limits of what grows in this area by testing things?
Yeah, part of it is always testing new things, new plants, see how we do trials from beans, peppers, to different kinds of birds, and all of it. You gotta always try to innovate and experiment with things.
Yeah.
But across the lake, there's people that grow mangoes.
That close?
Yes. So it's only 5 miles away from here. So there's microclimates, and those people can experiment, and you see around the area, there's a mango tree growing across the street. So, it's a little bit more cold protected, but this area, it doesn't. It's very exposed. There's no bodies of water big enough that will retain some of the heat. So we do experiment just to improve the things that we already know how to grow. Yeah.
That makes sense.
One of the things that we love to grow here is skatuck, and this is one of the green perennials that can be eaten raw. Super high in
It's like spinach.
vitamins. Actually tastes better than spinach. Some people say it tastes like green peas.
Ooh, it does. It tastes like fresh peas.
Yeah.
Like the shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, and you can eat
breakfast.
this raw. You can cook it, incorporate it in your soups and anything, and lots of vitamin A. Grows really well here. Doesn't matter if it's in the sun or in the shade. It propagates super easy, and it's wonderful.
That's so cool.
Yeah, no, the problem is not a whole lot of people know about it, and that's what we try to, when we cook big meals for people that come in, we tell them what's in them and tell them all about the plants.
Yeah. So the education is about the nutrition as much as the growing,
right?
Not just agriculture.
Yeah,
it's not a one-sided thing. It's both.
In the program, we do touch nutrition, primary health, and even appropriate technology. And we using these resources that are around. Another plant that I love a lot is this. It's called chaya, and also known as tree spinach. And this one, you do have to cook it a little bit for 5 minutes or so. It has a little tiny traces of cyanide, so you have to cook it. But it tastes really good, and also very nutritious. And it comes from the tropics, so it does well here.
Yeah.
And it's super easy to propagate, and it just grows very well.
Do you just do the young leaves, or?
You can
come on, follow.
You can use more. We try to use leaves like this.
Okay.
And we have a hedge back there. That
full of
hedge is just full of them. And we use them all the time. Another plant that we grow here as well is moringa.
Yeah.
Also equally nutritious. A lot of people know it as a miracle tree. But I think this can make a huge difference on someone's backyard. People can grow in. I know Chaya and Katuk might be able to be grown in containers, and moringa obviously becomes a big tree, but people do grow them all the time. Different areas.
Yeah. In Oklahoma, people grow them as a annual because they can't make it through the winter, but they're so fast growing. You don't get the drumsticks, you know, but you still get the leafy greens.
And equally nutritious, grows well, but it the cold will kill it.
Wow.
This is John Massey. He's the new kitchen manager.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. You harvesting some grapes?
Yeah, they wanted a lot more fruit for this meal, so.
Okay. Is there any good ones we can try here?
Yeah.
These are pretty tasty.
I've got the big ones from the. I've got
These
the
are
big
all
muscadines.
muscadines here. Yeah. You show us.
Oh, okay. I'll stick it. That's awesome. Well, this is the place for vegetarians and vegans, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's lots and lots of fruits and veggies.
That's good. It's got seeds, but it's still really sweet.
Yeah. These are our garden beds, and right now they have the summer crops where we're putting, it's a mix. Some areas has a mixture of beans and sweet potatoes. As you know, sweet potatoes produce a tuber, but did you know that you can also eat the leaves?
Yeah.
And they're delicious, and each bed could provide with 20 to 40 pounds of sweet potatoes. So, and this, you can do the math, we count all of them. Really, lots of starch, lots of energy, and each student, each semester gets one bed so they can learn how to garden.
Awesome. So they have to practice, not just lecture.
Right. No, we're big on hands-on. We really try. They still do have classroom time, but whatever they learn, they put to practice right away. So they're in charge of clearing it, mulching it, put amendments in it, planting it, and watering it, and
Do you show
they're
them how
graded.
to cure the sweet potatoes for long-term storage and stuff?
I think this is the first year that we might get a big crop, so we haven't had the need to cure them yet.
Pequeño.
Yeah. Well, this is from
Brazil.
This is from
I
Brazil.
know. We're grown this.
This is hot. You
No.
eat that? This is
No,
don't
no,
don't
you
eat
can
it.
eat-
No, don't eat this one. It's actually really hot.
We have the yellow.
We have the yellow one. It looks just like that. Would they
This
get?
I know. This one's hot. This one's really hot too. This one is not hot.
Oh, that must be the one we're growing. But that's the
yellow
red version.
of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because it's I like that it's got a little bit of fruitiness, and then it does have heat, but it's not like jalapeno. You don't need anything after to
Yeah.
chill. We've been selling
this
them at
one-
farmers market. It's
yeah.
like this novelty. People trying to eat them. That's awesome.
I don't know what happened with this, but this section here, it's
Well, these
all
are a hot
spicy.
pepper, right?
Yeah. One of our favorites so far, it's this one. This almost looks like a tiny bell pepper, and it tastes wonderful. I don't think I see a
that's so
fully
cool.
ripe one,
That's okay.
but
Really nice little compact bush.
yeah. I'm gonna give it a try.
All right. Huh? I'm getting like a full lunch here. That's good. Malachi, you want to try this? Yeah, he's just looking for animals.
We'll get to them in a second.
Matt, you want to try this? This is really good.
Yeah, you can.
Later.
Yeah, and we made this beds with the resources that we had around, so we didn't have to spend a whole lot of money. And we're using the practices of mulch, and we also since
That's some sandy soil, though.
sand particles are so big, water retention's not like the greatest. But what we did is we mixed in some clay, so that's why you can see
different layers.
it's different layers, different colors.
But that's a good shape.
But yeah, it keeps the shape, so it means it's retaining a good moisture in there.
So loose enough for oxygen, tight enough for moisture.
Right.
And a covering to stop evaporation.
That's right. We're
Sweet.
big on mulch.
Yeah, we are too.
We
What do you use for mulch? We use wood chips. What's
different things. This is old hay that somebody donated
Okay.
from a farm.
Nice.
They just didn't have use for it, so we went and picked it up. We use hay. We use wood chips. We use leaf litter.
No
anything.
preference. Whatever's free.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just trying to find one. And I saw one the other day. Oh, here's one.
Oh, look, Matt. Look at, so it's a light. It almost looks like a regular potato
Yeah.
in the coloring. It's so light.
And
it's
it grows
It's not orangey. It's not
really fast. This was planted in early spring. I want to say April.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we're in July now, and you can see there that produced. It's growing fast.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to do it on mostly all the beds.
That's so cool. Do you guys spray or use any fertilizers or anything like that? Come on,
No.
buddy.
We don't really spray anything. All the fertilizer we use, it's from our animals.
Yeah.
So chickens, rabbits, goats, all go in there. Anything from the pigs, we collect it, we set it aside for a month or so, let it sit,
Yeah.
and then we use it around fruit trees.
Oh, sweet.
So
So, because you don't want people dependent on buying inputs to produce
Right.
crops, because
Right.
that's not always available in other countries.
yeah, and we are trying to think about the farmers, substantial
Yeah.
farmers that are around the world that don't have access to go Home Depot and buy, fertilizer. So
Yeah.
we use what's available here.
So it's sustainable and it's better.
Oh yeah. High tunnel, and right now we just have some pumpkin
There's
in
a
here,
lizard in it.
and there's a lot of black soldier fly flying in here. So all those little bugs that you see flying around, which I'm really into them, because they're the ones that break down a whole lot of food that we don't use, and then we use the larva to
So
feed
you
the
like
chickens.
The flies.
Yeah, this
On the
flies I
flies.
do. House flies, it's another story. But yeah, in here during the spring and the fall, we have tomatoes that grow on the trellises, and we use the drop system where they go clockwise, and they can get up to 20, 25 feet long, and we extend the season of the tomato that way, and also do cucumbers in here as well.
Sweet.
Well, this is the smallest pig we have.
The smallest pig you have. Ooh.
Just kidding.
Here, Malachi. Don't stick your hand in there.
She is pink, and she is pretty old. Donated to us,
Oh,
and
look.
it does smell a little bit right now because she just went to the bathroom recently. But this is a deep litter system where we put carbon materials in here, the same things you will use for mulch, and she goes to the bathroom there, and as she turns things around, it breaks down faster, and you have compost in half the time.
So you bring her out when you harvest it, and then you just start again. All right.
Yeah, we rotate them. She's not gonna be here forever.
Yeah.
As she's been moved. This is the farrowing pen actually when they're about to give birth, but we have so many pigs right now at the moment that she ended up being here. But I'm fixing a pasture so for her to move out and freely roam around.
So this would work really good for someone that actually doesn't have land though and needs to raise pigs for food and to make their own compost.
Yeah,
and because it's a closed loop system.
Mm-hmm.
This is all one thing that gives
Right.
you multiple products. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Out of cinder blocks and
Yeah, and I've
That's
seen
pretty cool.
pictures of people. Well, what they usually do is they make a pit on the ground, so when the pig is fully grown and it's full, the pig can just walk out of there.
wow.
And here, because it's so, we get a lot of rain and the water table comes up pretty high, we need to build up
Yeah,
rather than go down.
you can go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
That is cool.
Yeah, and people use like rocks, whatever they have available around, they can use it. Different colors of tilapia, and also incorporating ducks and fish in the pond.
to fish, huh? That was easy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So we grow mainly tilapia. I haven't diversified yet on different kinds of fish yet, but I'm working on it. And also the ducks come in here, they go to the bathroom, and then they fertilize the algae that blooms in here, and then the tilapia eats some of that algae.
Wow.
And so they're helping each other out, and it's another type of system, I guess.
So you're like recycling all the nutrients between those three parts. Is it hard to balance not having too much fish, too many ducks, too much algae, or does it balance itself?
Yeah, I've noticed that I haven't really had a lot of issues. I mean, I might have to change the water. We come in here and we clean it twice a year, every semester. We take all the fish that we're gonna harvest, we clean it out, and put new water in and new fingerlings, and then the cycle was over and over.
It's just cement.
Yeah.
And then it has an air, so something to oxygenate the water. So it's a really simple thing for someone to set up without like, you need to buy this thing.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because aquaponics stuff's expensive.
It is. I love aquaponics, but you will have to invest a lot of money, I think, on it, and you really have to think about how appropriate it's to different kinds of people. So I think it's great because you use like 90% less water, less room, and it could be adjusted for different heights and everything, but it's really expensive.
Yeah. Like here you're getting multiple protein sources.
Yeah.
Like minimal. Yeah. So this is part of it too?
This is another system on its own that's connected to the greenhouse. And they're hungry.
What? The fish are in there?
Yep, there's fish in here. So
it's not piranhas, don't
it's
worry.
not piranhas. I'm just kidding. No, it's all tilapias, and I can feel them right here. So there is in the center there is an overflow filter that takes the water back into the greenhouse, and we can go see it later on. Goes through this beds with filters out and does the exchange, and brings out again the clean water through the sump tank that's back there. And so it's a cycle. And it's just water plants that I put in here is so for them to eat as they want, because tilapia is mainly herbivore. So I leave this here to eat it as much as they want. And we also supplement just a little bit, and also bring duckweed in here, and yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, if you put your hand here, you can feel it.
Okay, I'm scared, but I'm gonna do it.
Go for it.
Okay, seriously. It bit!
Really?
I swear to God.
Your bracelet looks like a career.
But not bad. It wasn't hard. But
no,
seriously, it was like just my fingertip. It was like.
It's scary. It's scary if you don't know.
You're just sticking your hand in this dark. We just watched the Jungle Cruise too, and there's a lot of piranhas in the dark water.
Yeah, they don't really have big teeth.
It reminded me of that fishing game where they just bite.
Yeah,
That's what it felt like. It just like went right on my finger. Like.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's scary.
To get all girly.
We can go out this way.
Follow
Just well, this is a starfruit tree, and we fertilize it with, when we clean this out, all the sediment that's down there, we just pour it out here, and it loves it. And I don't know if you can tell, but
wow,
in there.
It's in there. Do you see those yellow things hanging?
In here, we grow cassava, a variety that came from Togo, and it grows into a decent size in 8 months. So it's a faster harvesting time. And we rotate between cassava and other crops, but all this it makes a lot of carbs that come from here. Just like the sweet potatoes, it's a root. So in the fall and in the spring we harvest it, and we got a lot of it.
Wow. Can it stay in the ground for storage, or does it need to be cured like sweet potatoes and harvested?
Once you
between
harvest
seasons?
it, it doesn't last very long. You see it in the market. Sometimes they coat it with wax. I've
Yeah.
seen. So
It's
we
really
only
weird
harvest it.
when
Yeah,
they do that.
we only harvest it when we know we're gonna use it. You
Okay.
can freeze it. But those are the only things that
Or
we do.
do you guys do cassava flour as a preservative thing?
Yes, we've done it.
It's pretty labor intensive.
Yeah,
probably.
it's a lot of work. Yeah. But the other thing is, it can sometimes become, if you leave it in the ground for the next year, become a little bit woody. But it keeps growing, so you have different roots that you can also harvest. So it can stay like those stay there from last year.
And they just kind of keep getting bigger, so
Yep.
you have an idea of where they're at and their age and maturity.
Yep.
Okay, back this way.
Yep.
I'm trying not to step on that snake.
And it's an example of a lot of farmers around the world are pushed over and to the slopes and mountains. So they're dealing with erosion and also the ground not being leveled. So this is an example of how you can level things out to, grow some crops. Also, with the erosion issue, you plant different things like vetiver grass at the end here, which extends the root really, really long, really, really deep, to retain all that organic matter on top, on the slope, and then you can grow your crops here. Also, using lots of mulch will help you when the rain impacts the soil, doesn't just wash it down. And you can also incorporate forage or browse for the animals. And on the very top, you can even plant a fruit tree if you like. And that's what you can see on the top. There's some trees that are growing, and then there's different things growing. And here we got some, right now we have cassava here, but different years we have Rousel or cassava, and we always changing things around.
So you're using recycled old cement. You're using rocks, just whatever.
People use tires as well
to create terraces. Does this also help sink the water and save it, so it's not
Right.
creating this runoff with the erosion like you're talking about?
Yeah, being flat, it
So-
goes down rather than just moving to down the slope.
Yeah, that's awesome. Sinking and storing water.
Right here we
No,
have
guys,
some goats and a zero graze.
Oh, so this is a closed system for people without land to graze
Right.
in space?
Yes, but also
Hi.
it helps us
Oh my goodness.
kill the cycle of the digestive parasite, because goats are very prone, because they're not true grazers, and if they eat just grass, they will develop a parasite that will kill them if it's too much.
So they need this fodder.
So
need the diversity.
Goats are more like deer, where deer eats a little bit from a bush, moves on, and nips on this tree or bark, and they're just like that. So they'll rather eat this browse than grass. But if you put them in a pasture, it's gonna eat the grass.
Yeah.
So
What's available.
right,
Because they're enclosed.
Yeah.
But it's so cool because there's other animals that won't eat this.
right.
So good for you.
Yep.
Oh my god.
These are young bucks. Somebody wanted some for breeding, and so we kept them intact, and at some point they're gonna come and pick them up.
Someday, someone's coming for you.
Yeah. Have different stations. We call them forage banks, where we grow a specific type of plants that are nutritious, grow fast, and easy to propagate to feed their animals. So this plant, for example, is Titonia diversifolia. It's Mexican sunflower, Argentinian sunflower, which a lot of people use for chop and drop because it's so high in nitrogen, but it's also really good forage for the goats and rabbits.
Yeah.
And even I read a paper that even some people were pelletizing it and feeding the broilers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
cool.
great, and it grows fast. It's, you know, in some areas considered a weed. And I think the very first one we got it from like a railroad track that it was, you know, people were trying to kill it, but it just kept coming
like,
back.
dug it up.
Yeah, and then
We'll
we
take that.
we took a cutting and then we propagated it, and it's just does great. The only problem with it is that it doesn't like when it gets flooded. Other than that, you know, the cold will kill it and it just comes right back up. This is Buford, the water buffalo.
Oh my goodness. Now my
He's
kids are going to have
actually in
major regret.
Yeah, he's in timeout because that's a big horsefly. He escaped this morning, but I just haven't had the chance to put him back. Trying to get that fly.
Buford, the water buffalo?
Yep. And his nose ring is just to help guide him because he's,
Lead him by it?
yeah, just such a massive beast, you know, that can overpower us. But with the nose ring on him, he just follows you. Even, you know, your little kids will be able to take him for a walk.
Like, seriously?
Yeah, and
Can you imagine?
these are the tractors of many Asian countries. You know, they use them to till the ground, pull carts. You see him in a lot of countries being part of the family as well, and also to make mozzarella cheese.
Yes.
That's where it comes from.
We were just
Marco
talking
Polo
about
took
that.
him to Italy, and
That's how it happened. We were
Yeah.
like, that's so random. Can I pet him? I'm
Yeah,
kind of scared, you know.
No,
he said
he-
pet the
yeah.
fish, and the fish.
he might try to lick you.
Okay, that's okay. Oh, beloved water buffalo. I imagine that provides a lot of security for a family. It's
Yeah,
like,
and you know, and when you have a female and you breed them, and you got milk, you can sell the offspring or process it, and yeah, it helps them. You know, I can't imagine tilling the ground, just this area per se by hand. But if when you have an animal like this that are strong and you know, you grow food that you can't eat, you give it to him, and it's a great example of just community and using the resources that God provided.
very cool. Hi, be good.
Not the happiest right now.
This is not his spot, right?
No, but he ran from way out there all the way here. So I was like, okay, I got some goat feed and I was able to put him in here, and I haven't. This happened just not too long ago.
So you like caught up with him, baited him
Yeah.
with some food, and
Yeah.
let him by the ring?
He runs fast. You
Oh
see
my
him right now. He doesn't look that fast. They can run very, very fast.
Kind of like a bull. Like I
Yeah.
imagine him just taking off and being like, I don't
Oh,
want to be in
when
front of
he
you.
runs, the ground shakes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it can be kind of scary if you're not used to it. So our pastures where we rotate them to also help diminish the parasite that they can develop. So every 2 weeks we rotate the goats, and right now we have 2 that are milking. We're milking, and that's where we get our dairy products from. Also, we incorporate chickens. We also rotate the chickens, and those tractors that you see, we move them every day.
Oh,
We
cool.
also do meat birds as well, where we only feed them 12 hours a day, so they don't develop any heart issues, rest sores, or broken legs. And they also eat lots of grass, which makes them higher in omega-3, fatty acids. And the chickens don't mind the goats, and the goats don't mind the chickens. Also helps with parasites and, you know, ticks and other insects that are around. I have guineas that go around the
cool.
entire property, and they eat, you know, ticks
Yeah.
and other also harmful insects.
That's awesome.
And last year we started breeding our own turkeys, and it was a success, and we've been doing it now. So you see turkeys roaming around and also in different areas. Kind of also
they look
forgot.
so content all together.
Yeah.
You know, like. Okay.
Yeah, and the chickens have so much more, freedom to scratch, eat bugs. They get sunshine, and they're happy chickens. The eggs are also have higher nutrition than your store-bought egg. And they're actually, the goats and the chickens get along just fine. I've seen them hanging around, and even the turkeys I've seen catching flies around their pen, and
Is that
great.
goat pregnant with the big sides?
Yeah, the black one, the
She
white
looks-
one, the
That brown one?
the
that's
brown
got
one, and then the big one. They're all pregnant.
Hi.
Those are my favorite kinds of chickens, actually. Naked
They
necks.
Yeah, we had one of those. It was a good layer.
And this is the only problem
dumb.
with chickens:
The scratching.
the scratching.
Yeah, especially.
They do that, but in some areas I don't mind. I don't mind to do this around here.
What is this ground cover with the yellow?
Perennial peanut.
I was wondering if that's what it
Yeah.
is. I've never seen it. I just heard other people talk about
Really?
it in Florida. Yeah. Do you harvest this, or is it more of just a ground cover
It's a ground
versus
cover,
to protect the
nitrogen
soil,
fixer.
nitrogen? So it benefits the plants
Oh, yeah.
around it that you're harvesting from,
Yeah.
and it's better than grass.
Yeah, I like it better than grass.
It's super pretty.
The chickens, when they come out, they like to eat the flowers,
Yeah.
and they love it.
Cool.
So this-
American persimmon?
Yep, or
I've-
native persimmon.
I've never seen this. Heard about it. Okay. That was really soft. That's good. It has like a really weird aftertaste. Like drying my mouth.
It does that when it's
I
green.
feel I feel like
It's
I
dry in your
sucked
mouth.
on a dryer sheet. I don't know what. I mean, but the taste, this would be great put in a pie with, I think it's the skin.
Yeah, I
Do
can
you know what
feel
I'm
that
talking about?
too. Yeah,
It's like something,
it's weird.
I'm turning into a loofah and all the moisture from my mouth is disappearing.
I'm experiencing the same thing.
Okay, glad I'm not crazy.
This is another way that raise chickens, kind of a closed system. Not my favorite, but it's an example of how some people do it in some countries, and we try to give them a diversity of variety of greens. So when we clear an area and we give them greens, they love it.
Do you guys get bananas or no?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, there's some.
Some right there. Those are probably almost ready to be picked.
Really? One of my kids would eat a banana. He's a monkey. He likes green bananas.
Really?
Like he's really.
This is an American guinea hog,
Here's babies.
and
Hi.
she'll come up here if she wants, or just sit down.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
On like a tractor sometimes, and they till the ground and fertilize it, and they get to eat grass,
The other
they get to
tractor
root
method.
around,
Tiller.
and it gives them another job,
Oh.
another purpose.
How old are those? Because those are her babies.
Yep, this guy's a little shy.
Yeah.
They were born in May.
So is this a similar kind of deep litter system you're doing using the
Kind
fences,
of,
or
not really. Right here, I just kind of
more-
just drop a bunch.
just to help with the smell and the.
Yeah,
breaking it
also
down?
give them a little bit of elevation because they get in swampy back there, so they have a dry land. This one.
Simple living situation, but the animals look really happy and pretty.
Well, they got a good amount of room, and they get sunshine and lots of food.
Wow. Just climb on each other.
Pigs are so smart. They're really, really smart animals. Kind of scary.
Really?
How smart they are. They're like
They're
a toddler.
Don't evolve.
Yeah. And, you know, they'll pick a corner to go to the bathroom. That's where they go. So they're kind of clean.
Wow.
They just like to get in the mud
Compared
because...
to like a goat, it's just gonna
Right.
go anywhere.
Yep. And they're the only reason they are like to be in the mud is because they can't sweat. So that's how they cool themselves down.
Wow.
And this guy's...
Oh, they're
some
very
of them
friendly.
are going to be sold. Some of them we're going to keep them and process them here. And, you know,
Part of the
start
training.
all over. Yeah,
Yep.
and we teach our students how to do it. You know, not just gardens, but also the animal side of it and how they complement each other.
Yeah.
If you want more information about the village or our program and when we start, and you can contact us through our website, heartvillage.org, or you can call us at 863-638-1188. We have a spring semester that starts in January and a fall semester that starts at the end of August.
So, one more question.
Yeah.
You guys take donations, right?
Yes.
People can give you money
Yeah.
because you're a nonprofit and stuff. And so, if you want to support what they're doing here, sending out educated, well-equipped people into the world that can make a difference, then you should totally donate to this group or come and learn from them or both. Well, thank you for the pocket full of seeds.
Absolutely. Do you need anything else? You want something that you sell?
We will contact your neighbors about mangoes 5 miles away. That's so cool to hear about your microclimates and just what you guys are doing. Like, we have so much respect for.
Yeah. I
So,
understand.
thanks for dinner.
Yeah.
Like, this
You're
is what
welcome.
we're having. All right.
Great.
So be sure to check out Heart Farms, and we'll plug the information underneath. Okay. Bye.